The second time that I heard from Rabbi Leibel, another time, I didn't tell me that's the second time, but it's another time that the Rebbe said something that acknowledges or gives him the credit for being the Chozer. He told me that's been the famous story when this person who came from Australia stayed by Rabbi Leibel when it was Shavuos, and Rabbi Leibel figured out that it was Shabbos, Erev Shavuos, that really, according to the Rebbe's Shita in Kavatayich, that day is Shavuos. Then the Rebbe called him in. I'm not chazering the whole story. Everyone knows the story, but there's one prat which not everybody knows. And I said it once, but once I was sitting by Fabrengen, and Rabbi Yoel was there, and I wanted to tell it over because he told it to me, and he Bishum Eifin didn't want me to say it. But now I could say it in public. Maybe I said it in public before, I don't remember. That Bashasi went into the Rebbe, then when the Rebbe called him in, and they was talking about this, him by Shavuos being a day before everybody, which was Hey Sivan. Rabbi Yoel tells me he asked the Rebbe whether he has to say, or he should not say, Zman Matan Tereseinu. Because the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch writes that if those years when they were Mekadosh al Piyaria, if Shavuos came out on Hey Sivan, they would not say Zman Matan Tereseinu because Matan Torah was Vov Sivan. So the Rebbe, he asked the Rebbe about this person, in a case like this, does he have to say it? And the Rebbe did not answer. So he asked again, basically pressuring the Rebbe. And I think a third time, and the Rebbe still didn't answer. He asked a third time, and then the Rebbe answered him. And the Rebbe said yes. No, that he did answer him, then he said no, that he should not say it. And Rabbi Leibel said it bothered him the whole time, that it seems like he pressured the Rebbe. The Rebbe really didn't want to answer. So it's like a chutzpah, pushing the Rebbe to the wall, so to speak. The Rebbe should have to answer. If he didn't want to answer, don't, leave it alone. But then he felt himself that maybe he was right by doing it. Because after all, he says, he writes the siches, and he chazes the siches, and he gives it over. So since he gives over the Rebbe's Torah, it could be negei lapel that when the sichel will be written, he'll have to know the halacha, and they have to know, maybe, so he was matzdik himself, he justified himself for doing it. But he wasn't sure. That's the way he felt. A while later, when there was a Fabrengen, I think it was a Yuchvat Fabrengen, next Yuchvat, I don't know exactly. Between the siches, he was just, something came to his mind, this singing came to his mind. Doesn't even know why. It just the thought that he reminded himself that he was standing in the Rebbe's room, and he asked the Rebbe, and the Rebbe didn't answer. He pressured, so he was starting to think to himself, was it right or wrong? And then he said, maybe it was okay because after all, I do write the Rebbe's Torah and I give it out, so maybe it was right. As he's thinking that way, someone gives him a clap and says, the Rebbe's calling you. So he jumped up and he comes up to the Rebbe, goes up to the bima to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe gives him l'chaim, and the Rebbe says to him, in Yiddish, Sidach fort deile umashke meteiras Rabbi. It's a loshen in Rashi on Benegeya Eliezer, the Eved Avrom, that he was deile umashke. It's based on the word damesek, Rashi Tevis. Deile umashke means he draws and gives to drink of the Torah of his Rebbe. That Eliezer used to spread the Torah of Avram Avinu. So the Rebbe read his machshove. He was shasmaisa thinking, is it right of me or not? Or maybe because I'm spreading the Rebbe's Torah, I had a right to do it. When the Rebbe read his machshava, he called him up and he said, as if saying yes. And the Loshen he used him to the fort, Deilo Mashke Meteiras Rabbi. After all, you are the one that draws and gives people to drink the Torah of your Rebbe. And B'meila, he had a right to do that. And that was an answer in his machshava. But the Rebbe did say something to the point that he was a Chozer.